Right now, somewhere, 1 million people are calling themselves monks. They deleted Instagram for 4 days. They bought a journal. They posted about it. And by next week, most of them will be back exactly where they started. Monk mode is trending, but almost nobody doing it understands what it actually is. Today, I'm not going to sell you the aesthetic. I'm going to give you the actual mechanism. The part that works, and the part that's quietly making things worse for a lot of people who think they're healing. Stay to the end. The 3 rules come last, and they're not what you expect. Here's the honest reason monk mode is everywhere right now. People are exhausted by their own attention span. Not their body, not their bank account, their focus. You open one app to check one thing, and 40 minutes disappear. You sit down to work, and your hand reaches for the phone before your brain even decides to move it. That's not a discipline problem in the way you think. That's a wiring problem. And the wiring was built on purpose by people whose job is to keep your eyes on a screen for as long as possible. So monk mode showed up as the counterattack. Strip everything down. No apps, no noise, no distractions. Just you, a goal, and a closed door. That part is real, and it works. The problem is what happens after the trend cools off. Because for a lot of people, monk mode isn't a tool, it's a costume. They wear the isolation, post about the isolation, and never actually touch the work the isolation was supposed to protect. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. If nobody could see you doing it, would you still be doing it? That question is the entire difference between someone using monk mode and someone performing it. Here's what the psychology actually says, stripped of the hashtags. People who look the most disciplined aren't winning more willpower battles than you. They're fighting fewer of them. They removed the temptation instead of resisting it. The phone isn't in the drawer because they're stronger than you. It's in the drawer because they stopped trusting themselves to leave it alone, and they were honest enough to admit that. That's the real engine of monk mode. Not extreme willpower, environment design. But there's a trap hiding inside this trend, and it's the part nobody puts in the caption. Monk mode can become a hiding place, a relationship you don't want to deal with, a decision you keep avoiding, a feeling you don't want to sit with. Wrap it in enough discipline language, and suddenly avoidance looks like ambition. So before you lock the door for 30 days, ask the real question. Is this serving a project, or is this serving an escape? If you can't answer that honestly, you're not ready to start. Forget the 30-day countdowns and the aesthetic morning routines. If you strip monk mode down to what actually works, it's 3 rules. 1. Delete. Don't resist. Willpower is a resource that runs out by 3 p.m. Friction doesn't get tired. If a habit needs to disappear, remove the object, not your resolve. Log out. Delete the app. Stop scheduling a fight you don't need to have. 2. One target, not a lifestyle. Real monk mode has a single, specific outcome attached to it. Finish the exam, ship the project, rebuild the body. It ends when the target is hit, not when it stops feeling exciting. If you can't name the target in one sentence, you're not in monk mode. You're just isolated. 3. Rest has to be real. This is where most people fail without noticing. They swap one addiction for another. Doom scrolling becomes overtraining. Junk food becomes junk information. If your discipline leaves you more depleted at the end of the day than the thing it replaced, it isn't discipline. It's just a different mask. Delete the object. Name the target. Protect real rest. That's the entire method. Everything else is decoration. Monk mode will fade as a hashtag in a few months, the way every trend does. But the mechanism underneath it isn't new, and it isn't going anywhere. Remove the friction. Fix the target. Protect the rest. People have been using that formula for centuries, long before it had a name that fit in a caption. The question was never whether you should try it. The question is whether you're willing to close the door when no one is watching to give you credit for it. If this gave you the version of monk mode that's actually useful, type door in the comments. I want to know who's actually closing theirs tonight.